Hello, I'm Ghost Stefana and I recap video games. In this video, we're diving into the 2009 action-adventure Assassin's Creed 2. This game is the official start point of the Ezio Collection, and in terms of release timeline, it comes in between Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. In this video, I'll explain the events of the game, but like most of these games, I do really recommend that you play it as well. If you find this video useful, all I ask is that you hit subscribe and help my small channel grow. Thank you. Let's begin. The game begins in modern day, and Desmond Miles swiftly recaps the events of the first game. Very quickly, a company called Abstergo, a front for the modern day Templars, use a piece of technology called the Animus to relive ancestral memories using DNA sequencing. Trust me, don't try to understand it, just accept it. Ubisoft just basically needed a way to link a modern day story to an era-specific one. Abstergo are using certain subjects to try and locate pieces of Eden, powerful and ancient relics capable of all manner of thing. Lucy, a rogue Abstergo employee, attempts to break Desmond out, and in doing so tells him to enter the Animus. Inside the Animus, we witness the birth of a baby in Italy. The mother asks her husband what they should call it. Want to guess what the boy's name is? Yes, correct, Barry. I jest, of course, dear viewer. Please meet
Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
Lucy manages to get Desmond out of Abstergo and introduces us to her team, Sean and Rebecca. Lucy and her pals are modern-day assassins and are attempting to halt the Templar plans by also using an Animus device to locate pieces of Eden. Furthermore, they plan to train Desmond as an assassin using a technique known as the bleeding effect, where he essentially learns skills through the memories of his ancestral DNA, basically like an overly complicated tutorial. Inside the Animus, we arrive in 15th century Florence and play through the memories of Barry, who is now no longer a baby. Despite his legendary status among the Assassin's Creed community today, Ezio is a charismatic but a reckless young man, and often getting into fights and trouble and seducing the ladies. The latter point actually doesn't really change throughout Ezio's life. In the early stages of the game, Ezio meets the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci. Ubisoft have a tendency to include real-life figures in these games. Park that for now, and we'll come back to Leo later on. Ezio's father, Giovanni, tasks us with delivering and retrieving some letters for him. The recipient of the letters then cryptically tells us to warn our father that they are moving tonight. Barry hasn't got a clue what he means. Before we can deliver the warning, we learn that our fathers and brothers, Federico and Petruccio, have been arrested. Naturally, this is an Assassin's Creed game, so we just casually climb the huge prison tower building and have a chat with our dear old dad. Giovanni tells us to access a secret room in his home and deliver the letter found there to a Messer Uberto. Basically, at the early stages of the game, you're just a fucking postman, but it does get better. Ezio finds the secret room and within it, an assassin outfit, which will go on to become Ezio's famous attire. We deliver the letter to Uberto and he says the contents reveal a plot against the Auditore family and the city, and that he'll present the papers at their hearing tomorrow and they'll be released. But we all know this is a video game and things don't work like that. The next day, we discover our father and brother about to be hanged. Uberto, seemingly a traitor, claims to have no knowledge of any conspiracy plot and then kills our beloved family members.
We will! Father!
Barry is naturally fuming and says,
I'll kill you for what you've done!
And then has to fight off the nearby guards to avoid capture. Ezio retrieves his father's equipment and visits Leonardo da Vinci, who fixes our hidden blade and then helps us track down Messer Uberto, whom we kill. Realizing they're no longer safe in Florence, Ezio leads his mother, Maria, and sister Claudio to Monteregione, their ancestral home. When there, they meet Ezio's uncle, whose name escapes me.
It's a me, Mario!
Ah yes, of course. Mario explains to Ezio that his father was killed because of an order known as the Templars and begins to train Ezio in the ways of an assassin, although unbeknownst to Ezio. Ezio begins to investigate the Templar conspiracy which led to his father's demise. On the trail, he eavesdrops on a Templar meeting and identifies some of their members and learns of their plans to kill the Medici family and take over Florence. Ezio sets out to halt this plan and take out each member of the Italian Templar Order. This mission spans across 10 years. We start with Vieri di Pazzi before setting out our sights on the rest of the Pazzi family. Meanwhile, Mario shows Ezio the Codex Wall, an unusual collection of pages in Monteriggioni that Ezio surmises will show a map when all of the ancient Codex pages are found. The Codex pages are helpfully scattered around the map. Back on the Templar questline, Ezio meets La Volpe, the leader of the Thieves Guild, who agrees to assist Ezio in his fight against the Templars. With La Volpe's help, Ezio saves Lorenzo Medici from a Templar attack and then kills Vieri's father, Francesco de Pazzi. Barry continues his Templar hunt and witnesses the Templar leader, known as the Spaniard, kill one of his own members, Jacopo de Pazzi, due to his failure to kill the Medicis in Florence. We run into Leonardo da Vinci on his way to Venice, who explains that he is building a flying machine which could give man the ability to fly. Good for you. En route, we meet Caterina Sforza, a powerful noble who helps us get passage to Venice. Ezio says,
I look forward to enjoying your hospitality.
Which basically means I look forward to having sex with you. Back in the modern day, Desmond begins to suffer from the negative effects of the bleeding effect as his brain struggles to separate his and Ezio's memories. But fuck it, they stick him back into the Animus anyway, and we soon meet and help a woman named Rosa. Rosa is a member of the Venetian Thieves Guild alongside their leader, Antonio, and they begin to assist Ezio in the city. Ezio finds and kills the Templar Emilio Barbarigo and then turns his sights to his next lead, Carlo Grimaldi. In an attempt to infiltrate Carlo's palace, Ezio calls on the help of Leonardo's flying machine, which, with some help, works. We confront Carlo, who has poisoned the Doge of Venice in an attempt to assert Templar control over the city. We chase and kill Carlo, however, in his dying moments, the Doge points at Carlo and blames him for his death. However, his guards think he means Ezio, and we're forced to flee and go into hiding. Fortunately, it's carnival time, and Ezio dons a mask and continues his mission, killing Marco Barbarigo. Also, I do apologize to anyone who is remotely Italian. I realize I am completely butchering these names. Next, we register a double kill as Silvio Barbarigo and Dante Moro are defeated moments before they could escape on a ship. Ezio learns that the ship's destination was Cyprus. Sometime later, we learn from Rosa that the ship is due to return tomorrow, and Leonardo, who's been researching the Codex pages, learns of a vault that can only be opened by the Prophet, which he assumes the Spaniard, real name Rodrigo Borgia, is seeking. We see the boat return and witness a package containing an Apple of Eden taken from it. Barry, being Barry, manages to track down the package and steal it while disguised as a guard. We present the package to Rodrigo Borgia, who is said to be meeting the Prophet. Ezio then says,
"Surprise, motherfucker!"
and taunts Rodrigo that his prophet hasn't turned up, only for him to say,
I am the prophet.
Also, shout out to this dude who is just watching it all unfold with a bottle of wine. We fight Borgia before our Uncle Mario turns up to help alongside our other allies that we've made in the game. Rodrigo flees, leaving the apple behind. We then meet Niccolo Machiavelli, who claims that it was foretold that the prophet would appear and that he believes said prophet to be Ezio. He also reveals that he, our uncle, father, and all of our allies here today are members of the ancient assassin order, which to us, the player, was, very obvious, but Barry, bless him, had no clue. Sometime later, Ezio is officially inducted into the assassin order. Meanwhile, in the modern day, Sean recalls that Rodrigo Borgia was elected Pope in 1492, and thus Ezio's enemy is now the most powerful man in Italy. Ezio and Leonardo study the Apple of Eden before Ezio's touch springs it to life. Mario tells Ezio to protect the apple and instructs him to take it to the fortress in Forlì. However, in Forlì, we come under siege from Templar forces and reunite with Caterina Sforza, who asks us to help defend the city. We do so and save Caterina's children in the process. Upon returning from our rescue mission, we learn that the Templars have infiltrated the fortress and taken the apple. We, of course, manage to retrieve it, but Ezio is wounded in the process, allowing a mysterious stranger to take take the apple. The stranger is soon learned to be Girolamo Savonarola, who uses the apple's power and influence to take over the city of Firenze. Ezio witnesses the crazy monk delivering a sermon with the apple and manages to free it, and in turn the people of Firenze from Savonarola's grip. With the apple in possession and all the codex pages found, the codex wall in Monteriggioni displays a map as Ezio suspected. It shows the location of the vault to be in Rome. Mario also explains that Rodrigo Borgia is in possession of the papal staff, also believed to be a piece of Eden. Both the staff and the apple are needed to open the vault. In the Sistine Chapel, we confront the Pope, who uses the papal staff to fight Ezio. After a long fight, Ezio is victorious but refuses to kill Rodrigo, stating that it won't bring his family back, but his mission to halt the Templars is complete. With both items in his possession, Barry the Prophet enters the vault. And hold on to your hats, this is where things do get a little bit weird. Inside, Ezio meets Minerva, who he assumes is a god. Minerva explains that she isn't a god, but a member of an ancient and advanced race and civilization known as the First Civilization. She then, in a very cool video game moment, breaks the fourth wall and talks to us, the gamer, but more specifically, Desmond. Minerva then plays us a message detailing the events surrounding the fall of her race. They created the human race to serve them, but were destroyed through a natural catastrophe. They built a network of vaults and pieces of Eden to preserve their secrets and to prevent future disaster. Minerva then says,
"The rest is up to you, Desmond."
And naturally, Barry is like,
Who is Desmond?
in a credits scene, the modern-day assassins are forced to flee as their safe house is discovered by Templars. Dr. Warren Vidic confronts Lucy and Desmond before a fight ensues. Desmond, utilising the skills he learnt through Ezio, defeats the Templars before Vidic gets away. Through audio, we hear Lucy discovering evidence of unusual solar activity in the Earth's atmosphere, suggesting a catastrophe, such as the one Minerva mentioned, might soon happen. And that is what happens in Assassin's Creed 2. If this video was useful, then please do hit subscribe and help my channel grow. Thank you.